All right, guys, surprise, surprise, but we are talking about this CS2 case market once again today. In the world of CS2 investing and the CS2 economy, cases continue to be an outlier and just an impressive asset in every single way. They continue to shock and amaze me in the absolute best of ways. Obviously, I'm somebody who owns a decent amount of cases, but I'm also somebody who wants to own a heck of a lot more. And looking at how things have gone in 2025 so far, I wish I would have owned a heck of a lot more. But today, we need to talk specifically about this case right here, the clutch case, because it just recently passed a major milestone, despite, all the kind of naysayers and negativity and hate that it's gotten over the past couple of years. It's continued to prove everyone wrong and continue to hit higher highs and new heights and new price points and all that stuff. And I think there's plenty that we can learn from this case. We'll be going over all that and much more in this video today. But of course, first, just want to mention my cash trading business. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 skins, any of your CS2 items, whatever you have, and turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, PayPal, any other payment method that you're looking for, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below, but it's also on the screen right now. Of course, we can get deals done for anything, but you guys know we like to get the big deals done. So I'm talking about expensive skins, gloves, knives, bulk cases, maybe even selling your entire inventory all at once. If that sounds good to you and you want to get a deal done safely, effectively, efficiently, all that good stuff, hit me up today. We can probably get something done, and you're helping support me, my channel, and my content at the same time, which is absolutely awesome. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. And here is the clutch case. Right now, I have this graph set up as the time frame that I have been following the CS2 markets. Now, again, I have played CS Counter-Strike for a long time. I think I started, probably first downloaded Counter-Strike in 2014, 2015, something like that. But then I went on a break where I didn't play it for a long time, and I came back at around the time where the CS2 hype and the CS2 talk was starting to pop up once again, because Counter-Strike was everywhere, and it made me remember that, oh, there's this really cool game that I like, and there's also this huge economy and stuff behind it. Now that I'm older, had money, all that stuff, I wanted to start getting involved in the CS2 investing scene, investing, making content, doing all that good stuff, doing all the stuff, that I know and love to do. And this is how things have looked for the clutch case since April of 2023. Again, right around that peak CS2 hype time point, but also since I've been tracking the markets. And again, in this time, yeah, at first the clutch case was over $1. It was $1.13, $1.27, $1.40, whatever. But everything was spiking during the CS2 hype. Everything didn't make any sense. All prices were going ridiculous. People were saying, oh, CS2 is going to be the biggest game ever. It's going to have 5 million players. Every item is going to 10x in price, blah, 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 blah. But then things crashed back down. The clutch case went from $1.40 down to a bottom of 40 cents. And for a long time, this thing was 50 cents, 60 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. It was sitting at a 40 to 50 cent price point from what? This is January of 2024 all the way up until, I don't even know, January of 2025, like an entire year being 40 or 50 cents. And again, people knew, some people knew that cases were good, because again, if we go look at, case unboxing numbers, this is where we're at right now. But even if we go back to the history, and we rewind it back to some time during that time point, we can go to a random month in 2024, May of 2024. There's just one that I clicked on, 33 million cases unboxed. And if we look at something like the clutch case, there was over 1 million clutch cases unboxed in May of 2024. And again, that is just so many. That means that the supply of clutch cases was absolutely getting eaten into. That means, and again, at that time, the clutch case was a rare case. This is not like clutch was in the active duty or anything like that. Now, clutch was a very cheap case, and if we look at the clutch case, it doesn't really have that great of skins. I mean, the reds are absolute trash. If I got either of the reds in this case, the M4A4 Neo Noir or the MP7 Bloodsport, I would not be happy. You're supposed to be pretty hyped up and pretty excited if you can get a red. I mean, look at the Fever case. You can get an AWP print stream. Now compare the AWP print stream to the M4A4 Neo Noir. The clutch case skins are absolute trash. I think the USP Cortex is okay, but again, it's a very cheap skin. It's not really that cool. People don't really like it that much. The Glock 18 Moonrise, it's okay, but again, we're talking about a $2 skin. This isn't what you're going for at all. But the clutch case does have gloves. And I know overall people don't really love gloves that much, especially when you compare it to knives. I mean, you're talking about a karambit or, a butterfly knife or a Talon knife or whatever, especially a good one compared to, gloves. Obviously, most people would rather have the knife. Knives have more value. Knives are more popular, whatever. But Gloves are more rare overall, less cases dropping gloves and stuff like that. They're more rare, but also gloves are on the come up over the past couple years. Gloves are becoming an essential part of loadouts and combos, and your agent, your knife, your gloves all have to be on point. They all have to match the rest of your skins, all that stuff. And in the clutch case, you can still get some very, very cool and very expensive gloves. You're talking about vice gloves. You're talking about amphibious gloves. These sport gloves are actually pretty expensive and pretty highly sought after. Even though obviously you can get these from some other cases as well. These are also found in the Revolution case. I couldn't remember exactly which one of the active duty cases it was, but yes, these are also found in the Revolution case. Obviously, having the same gold, sharing the same gold as an active duty case, again, a lot of people would say that is a negative. So you had a lot of people talking about why the clutch case was bad. The clutch case had a huge supply. The clutch case has trash skins. The clutch case has gloves as the golds. It has the same golds as an active duty case. There was so much negativity and so much naysaying of why the clutch case was a bad investment and why you should stay away from the clutch case and why you shouldn't invest in it, whatever. Again, this whole time that it was sitting under 60 cents. And now, all of a sudden, as people have started to realize that, hey, the fundamentals, the numbers, the math behind case unboxings just doesn't make sense for the prices to be this cheap, and cases are going to start going crazier and crazier and crazier. Again, you can fast forward now to this is like June of 2025 numbers, I guess, where again we have 35 million of these unboxed in the past month. Now, yes, there are less clutch cases being unboxed now than there was back then. Only 535,000 of these clutch cases being unboxed. That's because more cases have shifted to the active duty and to the redeemable cases like Gallery and Fever. Again, Fever is just absolutely dominating the markets. That's for sure taken away from other things, but also the clutch case is like three and a half, 4 times more expensive than it was back then as well. So you can just kind of expect that, there's going to be less unboxing and everything like that. But the big thing is, again, not only did we see 40, 50 cents, whatever, and again, that was just Steam prices. Now, the clutch case has surpassed $1, and not only surpassed $1, smashed through it. We're talking about $1.10 on CS Float. This is cash prices. This is third-party marketplace prices, which, again, is more like 30 to 40% less, 30 to 40% lower than even your Steam prices or whatever. So, again, we can see what it has done in terms of Steam prices. We're now sitting at like $1.24, but even in terms of cash prices, this thing has blown past that dollar mark and is absolutely smashed through it. Again, so many cheap, rare cases, we see them getting attracted to at least that $1 price point. And a while ago, there was a lot of cases under $1, and slowly, we are seeing less and less cases being available for under $1. Now, this has been insane. Again, everything that people said negative about the clutch case, everyone that said, what was bad about it or why it wasn't going to increase or whatever, this thing has gone up 223% in the past year. Now, I don't know what other investments you guys have or where your money is stored or whatever, but I'm going to assume most of you have not made 223% on any of your investments or hardly any of your investments or anything like that. Anyone who was talking trash about the clutch case for any of the reasons I already stated or any other reason that they wanted to make up, they were dead wrong. And, it just proves once again that cases are just an S+ tier investment. In the CS investing world, where CS investing is already outperforming most things out there in the world, cases and rare cases and cheap rare cases are, the creme de la creme. They're even better than already the insane world that CS2 investing already is. And if you're betting against cheap rare cases, and if you're betting against a case just because you think it has downsides, or you think it has risks, or you think it has negatives, you're going to end up looking silly more often than not. And again, this graph is just absolutely insane. And there are some little tiny dips here and there, but for the most part, this is a straight up graph for the past year, again, of a 223% gain, going from 42 cents a year ago to $1.32. And man, we are all looking silly for not having purchased more clutch cases at this point. And again, this is hopefully teaching you guys that, hey, could things be overvalued right now? Could we be in a time period where we're due for a little bit of a pullback or a little bit of a crash, whatever, in tons of cases? Yeah, that's absolutely possible. We have way too many cases that are up 100, 200, 300% in the past year. But guess what? At this point, I would love a case price crash. If case prices crash, I would be buying up insane amounts. I'm already buying insane amounts, as we have seen insane gains like this. So in my situation where I own a ton of cases and want to own a ton more, there's really no way I can lose. If things go down, I'm going to buy the dip absolutely massively. If things can continue to go up, guess what? My money is going up very, very, very fast because I own thousands and thousands and thousands of cases. So things are looking really, really good. But again, obviously, I wish I had more of my money allocated to cases back then. I wish I was buying the dip harder. I wish I was buying things cheaper, harder, whatever. But I was still learning at the time. I was still new to this scene. And just like a lot of you guys are maybe right now, maybe you're just starting your CS2 investing journey. Maybe you're just starting your CS2 case investing journey, whatever. Maybe you've done skins or knives or gloves or agents or patches or stickers or whatever before. But guess what? If you go out and you buy cheap rare cases, if you go out and buy cases that have good fundamentals, reasons to have demand, which a clutch case absolutely does. Again, as all cases get more and more expensive, even if you think the clutch case is trash, even if you think nobody wants to open the clutch case, first of all, you're wrong, because we just showed you the historical data. A year ago, there was 1 million of these being unboxed a month, and even still today, there's 535,000 of these being unboxed a month. So if part of your argument is that the clutch case sucks and nobody likes it, nobody wants it, nobody wants to unbox it, you're already wrong, and that already doesn't make sense. You're using your own personal biases. You're not using the data. You're not using what is right in front of our eyes. But whatever. Clutch case is getting opened up in absolutely massive numbers. Yes, it has a big supply, but the overall supply numbers are dropping. And as all other cases get more expensive, people are going to be gravitating more and more towards the cheaper cases because, hey, they might not want to unbox a $15 or $20, whatever the heck it is, glove case, but maybe they can talk themselves into opening a $1.32 clutch case, especially if it's one of the cheapest cases out there on the market. Because again, like I said, there are fewer and fewer cases out there, even that are available for less than $1. And that's obviously going to get a lot of people starting to wonder, hey, what other cases out there are under $1 that I should maybe be keeping an eye on? What is going to be the next clutch case to hit $1 and smash through it and have some insane gains like this? Now, obviously, the snakebite case has been one of my top picks for over the past month, but again, the snakebite case is on an absolute tear. It's been going up and up and up. Maybe it's not the perfect time to buy it, I don't know, but it is still one of those cheap rare cases out there that is under $1. It is in the rare drop pool. This is one to look out for. Now, again, a couple of the other cases that are really, really cheap. The recoil case, cheapest case in the game right now at 37 cents. I think that this case will be $1 at some point in the next couple of years. But again, this is still in the active drop pool, and we haven't had a case added to the active drop pool for a while now. So we don't know when a new one's going to get added to the active drop pool. We don't know when the recoil case is going to get removed, but still, either way, as all cases grow, the cheaper cases are still going to get a lot of attention. I still could see the recoil case going up a ton, and then once it's removed, I could see it absolutely exploding in price. We have the fracture case sitting at 40 cents right now. Again, same thing for this. A lot of people think this is going to be the next case removed from the active duty pool. So still, you have a chance to get this thing at a really, really cheap price point. Again, clutch case, 40 cents, seemed like a bad price for the longest time. Now it looks like an amazing price. I think 40 cents is going to look like an amazing price for the fracture case at some point in the future. We have the gallery case sitting at 68 cents. If and when this is removed, if it goes discontinued, this thing's going to explode in price. This thing's going to be insane. And then, of course, we have the fever case as well, which is maybe the best case in CS2 history. 10 million of these things still being unboxed a month. Again, it's skyrocketed up to 91 cents now, which is pretty crazy because you can still get these things for 80 cents in the armory. But if you want to grind the game, pick these up for 80 cents in the armory. Still, I think, like I said, a couple years from now, I think 80 cents is going to end up looking really, really cheap for the fever case. But cases prove once again that, anyone who, kind of has spoken out against cases or told you why they're a bad investment or told you why you shouldn't buy this one or that one or whatever, they end up looking really silly. But the clutch case smashes through an insane milestone of the $1 price point over the past couple of days. And it's, who knows where it's going to stop from here? I don't know. But all I'm doing is buying, holding, saving, and sitting on cases and letting them do their thing, letting them cook. And like I said, even if, this insane run we are on slows down or stops at some point, that's okay with me. I'm going to buy cases at a cheaper price. But if things keep going up, that's okay with me as well. But pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.